With the losses in the secondary and defensive ends, how much of an asset is it they have veteran tackles and linebackers to kind of work the defense around?
Well, obviously, you hope you get one place where you've got some experience, but that's still, you can't count on those guys rushing the passer all the time. I mean, we got to get a secondary. We got to get a secondary who stand on its own 2 feet. I think that's one of the big jobs we have, and I think it was brought up about the wideouts. A couple of wideouts go in there and make some catches in the clutch and make some big plays that we've gotten used to. We've gotten used to Norwood, and he doesn't get the kind of credit catching the ball over the middle and making a big play, and Williams running back kicks, and Butler, who was really the guy that really made people nervous because of his speed, gave the other guys possibilities. So we've got to get to. When we went out to recruit, some skilled people. And hopefully we got a couple that can help us. There won't be many that can help them. If we get 2, 3 that can help us, that'd be great. Both on sides of the ball, skills position. But I think that we've got a job to do. We got a job to do in the skills slots, no question about it.
Jim, to follow that up, Drew Astorino and AJ Wallace are 2 guys that have experience in the secondary. How much will be asked of those guys this spring, and to kind of get the new guys along?
Well, it's so hard to you ask questions. They like to quantitative, qualitative. I don't know how much. I don't know. They got to go out there. They got to practice. They got to do well. They got to help. They got to, they know a little bit more what's going to do. They got to. We can't be coaching them as much as we're going to coach some kid that hasn't even been in there, and you got to line them up. Doesn't even know how to line up, doesn't know the adjustments. All of a sudden, you got a formation that the defensive coverage isn't ready to handle, and you got to change it. And a guy like Astorino can yell out, "Hey, wait!" The white changes the whole coverage. He says, "Red, red, red," changes the coverage something else. Now these young guys, they don't know what. They'll look at each other. Wait. Red. Look over to the coach. See what it's supposed to do. I mean, that's all part of what we got to go through. So Drew and Wallace, fine.
Joe, what was your reaction to Maven and Evans deciding to go into the NFL draft? Were you surprised by that?
Well, I knew Maven was. I didn't know Evans would go. I hope they made the right decision. I hope for their sake. You never know. I mean, they get hooked up with people, and again, this sounds like I'm being critical of somebody else's profession, but I think the scouts tell them what they want to hear. I can't even stand to look at some of the stuff on television anymore when some guy gets up there and says, this guy's a #1 corner, and I like this guy because he moves his hips and he does this. It's starting now in high school, recruiting high school. They're telling us who to recruit in high school. I'm paying attention to them because, I got 9 guys that have looked at thousands of films over the years, and some guy gets up there and starts shooting his mouth off, telling us who the best kids are. We don't even look at them. I don't even look at them. You get Phil's got a magazine, he's got to sell. All right? He knows what the hell he's talking about. I mean, he's this guy's a #5, a #4, #3. Butler wasn't even. So the same thing goes, I think, with the pros. If I had been, if I could have talked maybe in the stand, I would have tried to talk him in the stand. But he was determined to go, as his family was. And Evan's mom, I talked to Evan's mom, and I said, maybe it'd be better for him to stay. I think he might go higher. Whether you're a 3 or a 1 is a lot of big money. And she had good reasons why she thought he ought to go. And I said, well, good luck. We'll help him in any way we can. And same thing with Maven. They're both good kids. They did a good job for us, and I hope that things work out for them.
Can you speak to the importance of getting Newsome in early, given that you lost Devlin and Cianciolo?
Yeah, well, I think I'm glad Newsome's here. I think that's a big help. You know, I was obviously disappointed that was left because I had really not, I'm told he, at the end of the year, I had no idea he was thinking about transferring, but a lot of the kids on the team said, yeah, they know he's gonna transfer, which is fine. And he's gotta do what's best for him. Hopefully we're in the business of trying to help people, not hurt him. But I do think the fact that Newsom was able to come in January will help. It'll help him and help us. But he's still gotta beat out Madonna.
Couple more, please.
You lose Derek Williams. Chazball has some experience returning kicks. Where do you look? Who are some other people getting looks at returns?
Well, I think Pal will be one of the guys we'll look at. We'll look at a couple other kids. And that's, again, you know, we'll find out. We're gonna spend a little more time on the kicking game this spring for that reason. Although we've got Boone back and, you know, as a punter and got the long snapper back, so we're in pretty good shape. But I think there are some little things there that we can, you know, we ought to be looking at. And I think one of them is who's gonna be our return guy.
How has Clark changed since entering spring last year to this year? Has he noticed a difference in terms of what he's able to handle and talk with his teammates?
Clark?
Yeah, from spring last year to this year, how has he changed from your perspective?
Haven't seen much of him this spring after one practice. Obviously, he's got a lot more confidence, I think. You know, he's certainly has been a leader in the winter program. I can't recall whether he was last winter or not. I think he was fighting for a job with Devlin a year ago. You know, right now, I think he knows that there's an awful lot of people depending on his, you know, being a guy that can get the thing done. But, you know, if you said to me, what's the difference between him at the middle of last year and now? None. If you ask me what's the difference between last spring and this spring, I really couldn't tell you. Once he established himself as a quarterback, he's been a leader on the football team. And he established himself, you know, last year during the season.